Can you gain muscle with no weights?
It's the Health in the Real World podcast. It's time to start the show with Chris Janke as your host. Here to give you everything that you need when it comes to fitness strategies. We keep it simple and easy. It's your roadmap to get healthy. You don't need equipment and you don't need a gym. Just the right strategies to get you fit and trim.
Health in the Real World podcast, sponsored by my book on Amazon.com, How to Build Muscle. Simply go to Amazon.com, type in How to Build Muscle, Chris Janke Bueno, and you will see How to Build Muscle. This is a paperback book. It's a simple approach to getting strong. It is text only. It's all philosophy, mindset, what you need to know, what you need to think about. That is a perfect segue into what we will be talking about today. So let's talk about you. You want to gain muscle. You want to gain strength. I think it's very important. It's a very important goal in your life. Not only aesthetically, because it does look good. Muscle looks good. Looks like, wow, that's a healthy person right there, right? If you're walking around with some muscle. But more than that, it's good for you. It's good for you, not only for you to be able to go about your life and be able to pick things up without hurting yourself and all that, but also as we get into our older years, our balance and just being able to carry ourselves and to maintain that self-sufficiency for as long as we possibly can into our later years. So the question for today is, can you gain muscle without equipment? Now, this is kind of a loaded question, and you probably know what the answer is. I mean, my business, my core balance is all about using zero equipment. And I just want to talk about how that is, like, how is that even possible, right? I heard you have to lift weights and you need to consistently add weight to the bar every time and you need to get stronger, right? And that's the way that you know you're getting stronger. So let me ask you like this. Let's say you have two people. Okay, you have, I don't know, Johnny and Susie. Let's say Johnny goes to the gym, and every time he goes to the gym, he tries to add 5 pounds to his bench press, right? And he's doing pretty well every time he adds 5 pounds. But after 3 months, everybody in the gym starts to notice that Johnny, in order to press the weight out, he's like hyperextending his lower back, and he's like super arching, and he's tensing up his neck, and his back is forming this huge arch, right? He's even lifting up his hips. Seems like he's using every muscle possible, right? But he's still going up in weight, which means he's getting stronger, right? Okay, then Susie, on the other hand, maybe she increases the weight every now and then, but when you look at her, you see like, wow, her form is perfect. She's not moving anything except for her arms. She's really focused and methodical, and just seems like she's using the appropriate muscles for the lift. Now, it was a coincidence that I picked Johnny as a man and Susie as a woman, and Johnny's doing it wrong and Susie's doing it right. I know that's not always the case, but let's say that's the trend, right? I tend to see more men trying to overload the bars. Again, not everybody, but okay, let's talk about this. More weight, does that mean you're getting stronger? Yes and no. So let's say it like this. If all the other variables are the same, meaning your form is the same, you're doing the same number of reps, sets, maybe you're resting the same amount, you have the same amount of energy coming into the workout, then yes, you are getting stronger. But if you're having to overarch your back and lift up your hips, you're basically in a glute bridge trying to push, and you're using every other muscle possible, then no, you're not necessarily getting stronger. So I'm a huge fan of just doing it right. If you're not going to do the exercise right, don't do it. That's my belief. You do whatever you want. But getting stronger is not just a matter of adding more weight. Adding better form, doing it better is huge. So that's with weightlifting itself. Let's put that aside for a minute and go to body weight only. So even if you're doing just body weight and you add zero weight, how on earth do you get stronger? One example of an exercise that I really love doing. I've been doing this for the last several months. It's a bicep curl, and you're grabbing onto the legs. Okay, so imagine sitting, and you have your knees bent, your feet are flat on the floor, and you're sitting on the floor, and you're kind of leaning back slightly. You're going to get your hands, and you're going to wrap your hands around your knees, around the back of your knees, and you're going to do basically a bicep curl by pulling your knees toward your chest. Then you're going to lower down. The cool thing about this is that you can add more resistance by engaging your leg muscles more. So, the real answer to the question, can you add strength without lifting weights? The answer is yes. But the only way to add strength is to add tension. So even though I'm not adding weight per se, like adding weight to a bar, I am having to add tension to my legs. So when I'm going to pull my legs toward me, in that battle of arms versus legs, the legs are always going to win because the legs are way stronger than the arms, especially in that range of motion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to engage the legs, and I'm going to make it challenging for the arms. Now, this is what's cool about doing exercises this way as opposed to lifting weights, okay? When you are doing more of an intrinsic, meaning like your body is telling you how much tension to produce, some days you'll be able to produce more tension on this exercise, and some days you'll be able to produce less. When you're so in a way, it's it'll kind of look like the stock market graph, right? You'll have like an up and then a slight drop, and then up and slight drop. But generally, hopefully, you're going up. When you're lifting weights, I don't know anybody, myself included, who actually will drop the weight compared to what I did last time. I don't want to drop down. I want to keep going up, right? So even if on that particular day I have less of an ability to do that work, I want to keep going up. So one benefit is that when you are doing this internal tension, and Bruce Lee was a big proponent of this, the isometric type stuff, using your own body, using your own body tension against itself in a way. Your joints will not allow your muscles to contract past the point where it's actually safe. Now, I don't want to say they won't ever, because there's still always a chance to get injured, but it's much less likely that you're going to over-contract a muscle. Whereas, let's say last time you did a 150-pound bench press and you were able to do it, so you go, great, next time I'm doing 155. But your body may or may not be ready for that. You press, it's too much tension on the joints, and you hurt something. So, okay, long story short, yes, it is possible to add muscle, to add strength without weights. What you need, though, instead of weights, because when you keep adding weight, you kind of automatically, without even thinking about it, you're able to produce more tension, or you have to produce more tension in order to lift up the weight. If you don't have the external weight, you need to use your brain. You need to be incredibly mindful about how you are lifting that weight. Or not a weight, but how you're moving your body, right? So, for example, I can put my arm out to the side. I can engage my bicep and my tricep and pull. Now, it's going to take a lot to create any kind of muscle strength from that. It's going to take incredible focus. It's going to probably take a lot of repetitions. But is it doable? Sure, it's doable. Is it ideal? Is it the best way to gain muscle? No, it's not. But it will do in a pinch. So that's the answer. Can you gain muscle without weights? Absolutely. And I didn't even talk about the middle, right? I talked about the extreme over here, the weights. I talked about the extreme over here, literally nothing, no equipment. And then there's some middle ground where you're still using gravity. You can do push-ups, you can do pull-ups, dips, things like that, where you're not using your internal, you're still relying on gravity as that resistance. So there's always that option. Let me know down below what your favorite body weight exercise is. And so let me do mine. My favorite body weight exercise is dips. I love doing dips, weighted dips. So you start regular dips, and if you can do that, then start adding weight, like you can hold it at your knees or something. I love weighted dips. They're a great exercise. Remember to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon so you get notified of all future videos. Let's be fit. Let's be healthy. Let's be happy, guys. All right. See you next time.
It's the Health in the Real World podcast. It's time to start the show with Chris Janke as your host. Here to give you everything that you need when it comes to fitness strategies. We keep it simple and easy. It's your roadmap to get healthy. You don't need equipment and you don't need a gym. Just the right strategies to get you fit and trim.